It's such a beautiful morning at Indigo Run. The wind's blowing, but it feels really good. I'm not sure what the temperature is. I would guess somewhere around 70, but the wind just keeps it so much cooler. I was sitting here watching the clouds as they were moving, and I thought, I ought to just share that with someone, how beautiful it is. And as grandfather's son occasionally peeks out, it's really cool. We've had quite a bit of rain over the last week and a half, which has kept everything so green. But it also makes the yard grow. The grass grows so fast. So we end up mowing it quite a bit. But that's okay too. I thought while I was sitting here, I'd talk a little bit about the Sasquatch people and this, what people call phenomenon of being in one place and then being in another place in a very short time. Lots of people report this. I know it happens, and there are so many ways that, people get to see that happen. With Indigo, of course, I talk openly about when I travel. He has always traveled with me and goes where I'm going to go. And usually, at least a day ahead of me getting there, he will make his presence known. And for sure, he makes his presence known after I get there. And always in a physical way, not just in mind speak, but there is always a physical representation of him, be it seeing him, a glyph, or whatever. But a funny thing that happened one time was I do have the one photo of Indigo I took several years ago. And no, it's not definitive, but you can see him there. He was not cloaked, as the term that people used. He was there in that photo, and that was his choice to do that as well. But some people that I had become acquainted with saw the photo, and we talked pretty extensively about him. An artist who had contacted me about doing a a painting of Indigo after seeing the photo that I had taken, had done the portrait of Indigo. And it was very, very close to what Indigo looked like at the time. Well, there was a group of people who were meeting about the Sasquatch people. And this woman told me that she had seen Indigo at her kitchen window, looking in at her. Now that's about 85 miles from here. And in truth, he could have walked it, and it wouldn't have been a big deal for him to do. But they don't have to walk it either. You know, when you have hundreds upon hundreds of reports from people all over who don't even know each other, then if you think logically, you realize that these things are happening. This is not one person's imagination who has influenced another person. Now, if you want to think scientifically, you have to take that into account. You can't just say, well, science hasn't proven that. Well, right now, there's a whole lot that science hasn't proven. So you can't say, well, science hasn't proven it yet, so it's not so. That's not the truth. That's how a lot of people have been led to believe or choose to believe that in order for something to happen, science has to prove it. Well, the interesting thing about that is if you look at quantum physics and begin to understand that, then you do have science talking about these things. You know, and quantum physics is not new. This is not some new age propaganda, I think's how I heard it termed. This is science being proven. You know, and it's your choice to look at that or not. Now, if you're seeing a little light that's bouncing around on this video, it's lens flare. So, it's not an orb. There's a difference in orbs than how this appears. And you see it popped up. Well, it pops up as the sun shines a little clearer through the clouds. That's science. And I don't need science to prove the things that I know about the Sasquatch people. I've had a lot of my own experience for 70 years. That's a long time. That's a lot of experiences. That's a lot of beginning to understand. And I've let go of some thoughts as I've gone on this journey. And I'm still open to seeing things. Open your mind, open your heart, shift your paradigm, and you will find a world that you could never truly imagine. I hope your day's a good one today. Be kind, and be kind to yourself. Send some love out. to this universe. And love yourself. You're worthy of that. So from Indigo Run, enjoy your day.